Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go and put hashtag pajama in the comments below so I know it's the first time you're being exposed to the Pajama Grandma, me. Today is day 295 of What's She Up To Now? What am I doing as I transition from success in the brick and mortar real business world to the online business world? I was thinking this morning as I was getting cleaned up, because I actually get cleaned up to look like this in new pajamas every day. It's intentional. I might have mentioned that before. But it's on purpose that I show up in my pajamas and as me. I'm actually reading a book I got from my son called Dying to Be Me. And I can relate to this because I did die. I died, and this lady was in stage 4 cancer, and her family rushed her to the hospital, and she died, basically went into a coma. So she didn't really die, but she had a near-death experience. She had a death experience that she outlines in this book. So I'm really excited to read it because I actually did die and was in a coma for over a week. And she was in a coma for 24 hours. I thought she was in a coma for 6 weeks and she woke up and she was cancer free. But my son said she was in a coma for 24 hours and then she woke up, and over the next 6 weeks, scientifically and medically documented proof that her cancer was cured and disappeared. So I'm excited to read her book because based on the things that he's told me and some of the things that he said about the book, I have experienced some really parallel things and think that maybe it's time I start sharing and talking about them. And I think maybe this will give me the courage to do that. It's interesting. It took her 6 years before she wrote her book or 5 years or so before she wrote her book and started talking about what happened to her. And I just think it's fascinating. And I think that it takes us a long time to process when we have an experience like that and to know what to do with it and how it impacts us and how we can use that to do what it is that we know we're here to do. That's a very aside rant. So I'm reading that today. I spend a little time reading it every day. You know, got to read with the magnifying glass, so it's a little bit difficult and challenging for me, and it tends to give me a headache. So I have to monitor the amount of time that I actually spend physically reading or trying to read. I do think I should get the audiobook because sometimes the audiobooks are just the way to go. But I also like to read things and consume them at my own pace. I'm one of those people that loves to write in books and things. I know some people hate that, but I like to write in my books. I like to take notes in the margins. I like to highlight and underline so that when I go back to look at that again, I just look at the highlighted things. I only look at the things that I thought were important at the time, which may mean I'm missing something, but it works for me. So today, sitting here sipping my coffee and thinking about all the things I want to get done today, and getting a little bit of overwhelm. And I'm like, okay, stop, take a deep breath, and realize you only have to do the next thing. So what is the next thing I need to do to move my Women's Summit project ahead? I just have to do the next thing today. Not everything on the list, just the next thing. So I ask myself, what is the next thing I need to do? And then I'm just going to do that. What is the next thing I need to do about launching a funnel that I'm working on right now? Well, I have to make a couple of videos. So no problem. I will go on my computer. I will look at the pieces of my offer, because as I was thinking about making the videos, I thought, well, I could just shoot them right now. And then I realized I put so much stuff in those offers, I can't even remember what all I put in the offers. And I've already built out the membership area and stuff, so it's in there, but I don't want to miss it. So I have to go through and just take notes on what's in the offer of each of the videos I need to make. One is the core product offer, and the other is the upsell offer. And I'm like, okay, well, I put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things in the upsell offer, and I think 5, 6, 7, or 8 things in the main offer, so that I don't miss anything. I just want to make a little post-it note, like I do. I tend to have a little post-it note around when I need to chat about something and talk about something, because how can you sell a good offer to people and show them all the things that are in it if you can't even remember what else in it? So I'll be doing that today. So that is the next thing I need to do for that funnel, is just make those 2 videos. I also need a graphic I'm waiting on, but what I might do is just do a dummy up graphic and just launch it the way it is and then fix it as I go along. Because I think that sometimes I am very guilty of just waiting for things to get done and they never get done. And that is evident in, for example, my ClickFunnels account. There's 190 some funnels in there. And I think I've maybe ever launched like 3 of them. For me personally, like 3 of them. So it's not a very great strategy. And it's something that I'm continuing to work on and learn, because the online world can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming and lonely because you're in your house, in your pajamas, working on your own a lot of the time. on your own projects. I'm not talking about coaching and interacting with other people or consulting. I'm talking about when I'm working on my own projects. That's when it can be lonely. When I'm building my own funnels for the things that I'm doing or the courses I'm offering or the projects I'm doing, that feels kind of lonely sometimes because you're doing it in a vacuum. You're doing it on your own. And even though you're doing it for other people, it's sometimes a little bit of a struggle. So I have to find ways to counteract that. And I do that with my coaching, because coaching, I mix in how I spend my time, because coaching invigorates me and gives me energy and helps me move forward. It actually helps me. Now, this is a secret about coaching. Being a coach helps you to see what it is that you need to do in your life, because what will happen is you attract people to you that are having challenges and struggles in areas that you're also having challenges and struggles with. For example, I coach everybody on picking your primary audience and then building that audience. Yet, my offerings were super broad and super generic. Supersize your business, grow your business for everybody. I wasn't honing in and targeting on anyone, which was part of why I made the shift for helping women. And as I move forward, I'm narrowing that down even more as to who I want to work with and who I want to help. I don't want to help all women. All women don't want me to help them. And so I will get clearer and clearer and clearer as I narrow my focus. And as I narrow my focus, I get more of the people I want being attracted to me versus me chasing them down. And I coach all my students on that. So I just am kicking myself that I've spent a year. And it's really funny because when I first started doing the online stuff, women, stressed out business women were my target audience. That's the target audience that I went through the ClickFunnels training in mind with. And I created, it took me about 7 or 8 months. And I created a product and I launched it to crickets because it wasn't what people wanted. I didn't ask people what they wanted. I made all the beginner mistakes that people make now, all the things that hold people up. And I had the advantage of going through the certification training and becoming a certified partner. And I still made all those same mistakes. So what are the regular folks? I mean, how do they stand a chance? They don't, unless they get somebody to help them, somebody to help walk them through. Okay, here's what you really need to do. Here's the path to success, what you really need to do. You can get off the path anywhere you want and follow all these different rabbit holes like I did, or you can follow the path. And once you follow the success path, get some success, go ahead, go back, go down those rabbit holes. Whatever is of interest to you, whatever you're curious about, go learn about chatbots, go learn about speaking on the stage, go learn about whatever is of interest to you, but get what one of my coaching students says, get your nut covered, cover your nut. And that's your core expenses every month. Make sure those are all covered on autopilot. Then go do something else. Then go explore something else. Then go add a new thing to it. But do the one thing first. Get that one thing. And he's actually a one thing coach. So this is awesome. Audie Cashin, amazing man. Do that first and then do something else. Then expand. Then go back and learn about what you want to learn about. But follow the direct path first, so you've got some success. You've got your life covered, and you don't have the doubt, stress, worry, and fear that comes along with not having your life covered. Working on that today. So basically, it's ask yourself what's next. Only what's next. Not I have to do everything on this to-do list. What is the next most important thing for me to do? And I just go out and do that. So today, my next most important thing is to get those videos created. And again, for my mental well-being, I'm going to spend some time reading and relaxing today and recharging my batteries and re-energizing. And I recommend that you do the same. That's it. Have a fantastic day. And of course, I'll be with you tomorrow.